Hello, I'm Jacob Laye, and welcome to, I don't know what to call this, story time with me. Stories with Jake, the Laye man tells tales. I don't know. But whatever we're gonna call this series, I thought we'd start out with a fun story. And that would be the story of how young, stupid me almost joined a cult. So a long time ago, back when I was 10 or 11, I would consider myself a deviant when it came to the female gender, the opposite sex. And what I mean by this is every year in grade school, I would always have a different crush on a girl. And the way I was very dramatic as a child, all these crushes I would see as, yes, this is the person I could see myself spending the rest of my life with. And then it changed next year, so you could see where that turned out. But there was one year where it turned out, and much to my surprise, I had the same crush on the same girl. And I was like, Fate has finally spoken, and this is actually the one. Unlike all those other girls where I said these were the one. And, now that, I had the benefit of reflection and hindsight, I can see how I could be attracted to her, as she was redhead, and that's literally all I could say. Nowadays, I don't really talk to her, but I did take her to a high school dance once, and nothing ever came of that because one of her friends got sick, so whatever. Anyway, you're probably wondering, what does this have to do with you almost joining a cult? Well, let me explain. So, at the time, Harry Potter was, I would describe it as experiencing a renaissance with more people in my grade gaining an interest in it. And this girl was among them. And I thought the best way to get her to like me would be to express interest in Harry Potter and magic. Well, here's the thing. I didn't really like Harry Potter. Well, not as much as other young adult series like Percy Jackson, Ranger's Apprentice, which is hilarious considering what's happening nowadays with J.K. Rowling. Anyway, because of this dislike of Harry Potter compared to my other series, I decided I'd go and try and find some real magic. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, but magic's not real. Reminder, I was 10 at the time. And so I went online to try and find magic because I thought this would make the girl find me more attractive than other boys, because I was not very attractive at the time. I did not have the flick I do now. I was not as saucy, except I'm not really that either nowadays. And so I went online and I found a website that had all this magic, and it said it came from a single source, a thing known as Pazuzu. Now, if you don't know what Pazuzu is, it's a demon. It's a literal demon. So on this website, there was a literal plethora of all these spells, and I started copying and pasting them onto Word documents and just printing them out. Thankfully, parents weren't home at the time. I assume so. So I did not have to have an embarrassing talk. Thankfully, I'm putting this out now on the internet. Good job, brain. And so I had all these Word documents printed out, right? And this is what prompts this story, because I actually have them still. Obviously, design was my heart. And so I decided to look through this again, because why not? And well, the first thing we get to is this. I mean, I was an idiot back then. So yeah, we have that cover image, and we flip to, say, first page was all about just astral projection. That's all it was about. Then we get some stuff like hypnotizing, which I thought, hey, it would be useful if I wanted to hypnotize myself into working out, because I was kind of fat back then. So then you flip a couple more pages, and then you come to something called Lucifer's Touch. Now, I assume the reason younger me thought this was cool is because it had named Lucifer in it, and because, oh my god, it's the devil, it's gotta be cool, right? And so I guess I ignored everything to do with it, because coming back to it now, I'm reading it, and I'm just thinking, wow, this is just kind of stupid, because you have to light 3 black candles at night, and then you ring a bell, and this is just stupid. And then below that, you have the bones of anger, or it's a hex, and you have to gather the bones of chicken and dry them in the sun for a few. I don't know why I do not have any kind of idea why I would actually copy and paste them. Some of these are just stupid as all heck. All hell, I should say. But yeah, so I kept on doing that. At some point, the website prompted me to stop. It would say something along the lines of, "Are you trying to steal my work?" Now, because I was a young idiot and didn't know how the internet worked and how websites could work, my immediate reaction was, magic. But because I was also an idiot, I just kept on continuing to do so until I got a certain prompt by the website asking me if I was interested in his work so much, would I be interested in perhaps becoming an apprentice? Now, you could probably see where this is going. So, being an idiot, as I reaffirmed like 3 times now, I decided, yes, I would like to be your apprentice, Mr. Mysterious Wizard Dude, I have no idea who. And I put my email in. Thankfully, at this point, the email is deleted, so no more, none of that anymore. As the weeks went on, after I put my email in, I kept on getting emails about dates and stuff and meetings, and well, because I was a child, I couldn't obviously go to these meetings. Now, thankfully, I had the sense enough not to tell my parents about any of this, because, well, obviously, it's magic. They wouldn't understand. It totally isn't anything other than just magic and learning to be a wizard or a mage. Until eventually, I got an email asking for a donation of money. Now, this is where I stopped reading these emails altogether and started having them listed as spam. Because earlier in the year, I had experienced the very, very harsh reality of microtransactions. And, well, I didn't want to experience that. I mean, I can make a whole nother story out of that. And so, because of my history with microtransactions, being that I spent $100 on a mobile app, I decided, no, I'm not going to pay you money, and I'm going to stop. And so that's it. And you might think that's the end of the story, right? But recently, as I mentioned, I found... It's upside down. So recently, I mentioned I found this earlier when I was cleaning my room and just changing up. And I decided I would look up whatever happened to that Pazuzu cult. Long story short, several people got arrested and are now spending a long time behind bars. So, moral of the story is, don't be a simp. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed that little story, I guess. And if you did, please leave a like down below, maybe subscribe for more stories in the future. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.